Just a moment, please. The thing is doing that thing again where it does the thing and then decide not to do the thing. Just a moment. Damnable microphone. Where the hell is it? Kill this task manager. And start it up again. Fantastic. My voice modifier thing that makes my voice a little clearer and filters out background noise from my room decided to update. So give me a moment and we'll start right away. So technical issues and all of that. All right, here we are. Thank God. God damn it. All right. Hello and welcome once again, whoever you are, wherever you're watching from, or whenever you're watching this, to our daily Limbus Company ID study and book reading. Today, following the order of ID release, we will be looking at a very overlooked ID, the Hook Office Fixer Hong Lu. We're missing about 2/3 of the Hook Office here, but what can you do? It's the only one that was released, and I am following the order of release by IDs. And after that, we complete our daily mirror dungeon. We are going to be reading the rest of Franz Kafka, the Metamorphosis. So I would like to welcome you all, and without any further ado, let's begin our review. But before that, hello there, Moises. How you doing? Nice to see you here. Let me just put my desk pen on the ground so it doesn't blow into the microphone, and let's begin looking at the ID we will be using for today. It is a 0-0 ID, so this solo promises to be fun, very fun. In any case, let's begin. Hook Office Fixer Hong Lu from the first Walpurgis notch has 211 HP, 3 to 7 speed, 57 defense level. He is weak to blunt, but strong versus peers. He possesses the sins of wrath, lust, pride, and pride evade, which it makes him very suitable for soloing. Although his, just from looking here, his evade is kind of weak, but we'll get to that in just a moment. Let's begin by looking at his passive. His passive is aptly named the Hook. It is a 5+ owned. Upon defeating an enemy, gain 1 attack power up next turn, once per turn. And that is pretty good. It's just +1 on our attack power on a kill. There could be worse, but there could certainly be better passives, especially for a Walpurgis Notch ID. But this was one of the very first Walpurgis Notch, I think. It's literally marked Walpurgis Notch 1 here, so they don't expect anything too powerful from a 0-0 ID. Anyway. Skill 1, track, a 3-4-4. Then this time, we finally have an ID that has a baseline skill 1 with 11 power. It has 61 offense level, 2 coins, and 3 base power, and a 2+ haste. It gains final power +1, becoming a 12 roller. It doesn't have the standard escalation of power from 11 to 13 to 15, but it is pretty good. It inflicts bleed on hit, and on heads hit, it inflicts an additional bleed count, which is always good, always welcome. Very simple, no gimmicks here, just have haste and gain final power. How do we gain haste with this ID, I wonder? Well, let's use skill 2. Skill True is going first. Lust Pierce attack with 4 base power, 3 coin power, featuring 3 coins, making it a 13 roller, which is unfortunately below average for skills True on most IDs. Most of them, at least the modern one. But at 6+ speed, we gain another coin power, which is a 3 additional power, so making it a 16 roller, which is then the baseline. So he is operating under the average already, and with no escalation on his first one besides final power. And this one just escalates his power to roll as standard skill 2, and it doesn't have a very good offense level either to compensate for his very low defense level. So again, 0/0 ID. It's gonna be a fun solo today, isn't it? It inflicts true bleed, and if this unit is faster than the target, you inflict bleed count equal to the speed difference, max of 4. And this is pretty damn nice. It can be up to 4 maximum bleed count on a single attack. That is pretty damn nice. And finally, the final skill, the skill tree, a Pierce Pride with 4 base power, true coin power featuring 4 coins, and a 63 offense level. With 4 coins at true power, we have a nice 12 roller. At 6 speed, we gain another coin power, turning all of those coins into +3s, becoming then a 13 roller. With plus base power, that means it is a 17 roller. Very underwhelming, incredibly so. We don't have a big clasher here, but again, double ID. There's a big chance that we're not going to be able to complete this fully solo because of these horrible clash powers, but regardless, it deals more damage based on the target missing HP. There seems to be no limitation for this, so we just gain more power the less HP the character has. Heals 1 SP per bleed on target, maximum of 10, inflicts bleed. Very nice. And finally, his defense skill, which is 3 base, 10 coin power, 60 defense level, which is okay, puts him on the average. If the target has 7+ bleed, gains true coin power, turning this into a 15 roll. And on evade, he gains 1 haste next turn, up to 3 times per turn. Hello there, Kyla. I see you on Twitch. Funny story, I love to look at this idea, and his kit looked really fun, so I wanted to try it out, but I didn't want to invest in it. It was a really old example. I tried it out. Then I could have got a single person who had home glue to support it. Had to give it a grade hint. I see. So you already tried our boy. So our boy here doesn't really have that much in terms of any magical number that we have to count, any magical effect. Just be fast and be good. All right. Let's check if it is sin resources that he generates. We can use any ego right off the bat. We have Wrath, Lust, and Pride. Remain oneself is Sloth, Gloom, and Pride. Lasso is Lust, Gluttony, and Pride. Cavernous Wailing is Sloth, Gloom, and Pride. Soda is Gloom, Gluttony, and Envy. Dimension Shredder is Gluttony, Pride. Roseate Desire is Lust and Pride, Envy. This one is Gluttony. He really can't fuel any ego on his own, huh? Well, it is a shame. So we are looking to be fast, and we are looking to be bleeding. So let's check out passives that can support us. The glass of enemy and gain 1 haste next turn. All right, I don't even need to check the rest of this attack, this skill. We're gonna take it right away. To remain oneself, if I recall correctly, is incredibly powerful because it allows us to regain our ego resource and you gain damage up. So we're gonna use, of course, because it's the collab one. It's very powerful. We could take Cavernous Wailing. No, this is not the good Cavernous Wailing. The good one is from Sinclair that gives us survivability. Dimension Shredder is also very good for survivability because it allows us to cheat death once. But Remain Oneself is a good AoE. Lasso has some AoE on it. And this one is for... I don't think we get much use out of this on as a solo unit, but we're going to take it anyway. All right. So... let's build a team then. We already have our egos, we have our unit that's a 0/0, so it's gonna be a very fun one. We are looking to get as much haste as possible and bleed. Let's start with Yi-Sang. As usual, Yi-Sang is like the team therapist, so we can probably take the ring point list for sanity heals, and then the rest doesn't really help in that much. Let's see here, we'll branch adapt. I do remember that his passive is weird as hell. Apply on the following to one ally with the highest max HP. Combat start. Gain affected unit speed difference between this turn and the last turn. Defense level, max of 5. Combat start. The affected unit is at less than 50% HP, and if the speed difference between the turn at less or higher, heal 50 HP once per encounter. It's a 50 HP heal on a very specific condition and only once, so it's not that good. We are taking the bring point list for sanity heals. We have pride. Pride for Faust, we're bleed. The one who grips gives us, we have lust, gives us sanity, and we don't benefit from fanatic, really. We are in Pierce. I think we're mostly Pierce, right? We are pure Pierce. So we finally get to use for Seer Association's passive. It is a 4 lust resonance, so we can't use it right away, but it's a single Pierce damage up, huh? It's 10% more damage versus 25% per chance of applying the offense level down. I kind of prefer normal Faust here. Maybe the House of Spiders Ring Apprentice would be better. Let's see. When hit, allies that keep a defense skill on their slots and start inflict for lean on the target. It's only if we are getting hit, and we are evade, so it's not that good. So we got the option between 10% more damage, offense level down on the enemies, or this is for countering, this is for burning, this is for defense level. Rupture, clash power. We are a bit below the clash power, if I'm gonna be honest, and we do have the wrath. So the clash attack with below the ally has a negative effect. We could take this to increase our clash power a little bit, but we would need to have some way to inflict all those negative effects. We only inflict bleed naturally, and other IDs can give us negative effects such as defense level down as well. I think I'm gonna go with Faust for the extra damage. Dawn is pretty much on the same boat because she has 10% more pierce damage, so we are looking at 20% extra pierce damage here. Let's see, Hazel Pack, Way Branch, Matter of La Mancha Land. Matter of La Mancha Land is like a berserker passive, right? Combat start, one ally with the least HP gains 1 damage up for every 20% of missing HP. If said ally is a Blood Fiend, gains another one for 15% instead of 20. It's kind of like a berserk. If you lose 60% of your HP, you can get 30% damage up. But we are not looking to be low on health. You know what? We might want to make this the Pierce run instead of the bleed, because bleed we're gonna get naturally because it just comes naturally. And since we are pure Pierce, let's focus on our Pierce damage, shall we? We also have the faster speed difference, the 15% damage bonus on if we're faster than the enemy. Think Association can actually support us here because we do have a pride evade. Let's go with Dawn for the extra damage. We don't have the Gluttony Resonance to activate Ryoshus for that double damage, but what can you do? Ooh, let's see. Kurokomo Clan Wakashu inflicts another additional bleed. That's an easy take. We don't generate poise because I always think bleed and poise goes together, and kind of do. We could take this for the haste bonus, like permanent. We just need to generate the resource somehow, probably through an ego gift. So let's see, this one is a resonance, right? This one gives us 1 bleed count on the resonance. This one's pretty good, but I'd rather have the guaranteed haste so we don't have to dangle too much, and the faster we are the better. So for Mersold, we are Pierce Bleed. We have the middle little brother for sanity, not good. Rose Spinner for clash against Tremor, no good. Lobotomy Ego Alteration was something about Pierce. I like Pierce base attack skill, and the ally heals HP equal to 10% of HP damage to the attack, to attack for a counter. For this turn, if all base attack skill allows Pierce skill, or all allies heal 10 SP at turn end. This is pretty damn nice for sanity, as we only have Pierce, and our skill 1 is Wrath. But it's kind of we already have someone taking care of our sanity, so this doesn't help us at all. We don't have Sloth to naturally generate the damage reduction. We do have Wrath on the Endcorp Grub Hammer, which gives us power up protection if we're below 50% HP, which is pretty damn nice. I'd say so myself. It's like an emergency button. We have the Sync Association as well, which gives us haste next turn on the Pride Resonance, and our Pride is only a skill 3. So not that good, really. True haste, we're already gaining true haste for something else. Our corp is for charge, if I recall correctly. Yes. And the Fauvis student is... Well, with fast speed on hit, inflict defense level down for two times the negative effect on target. I guess we could take this one instead of the panic button, honestly. Because, yeah, it's one attack power up and one protection, and we are gaining attack power up on a kill, but we have to be below 50% HP, and we don't want to be there. That's only going to be triggered on an unfocused encounter, really. Yeah, let's take Fauvis. Hoglu is the fighter. Heathcliff, I do recall, have something for Pierce. It was a Pequod Harpooner, which is, well, it has max HP, do more Pierce damage, the less HP they have. This is pretty nice for Berserker mode, but I think he has something better for Pierce somewhere here. Yeah, the Arcorp 4th-pack Rabbit. It's more Pierce damage, so we're looking at a 30% damage bonus here from Faust, Dawn, and him. 30% damage bonus, very nice. Haste. Offense level down, sanity, prone, Ishmael. We have Kurokumo clan captain, which provides us with more bleed potency or counter effects, which is very nice. Pequod captain is poise. Molar boat works is tremor sinking, I believe. Yeah. Lobotomist Loshing is a meme. Urquhart 4th-pack Reindeer's blunt damage. Family Hero Candidate is a meme. Sanity regeneration, clash power and more damage on Envy Resonant. Defense. Yeah, we're taking the Kurokumo Clapton for support. Rhodia, I think you're perfect the way you are. So let's just check here. One out of the fast speed inflicts rupture to damage to an enemy. No, we don't inflict rupture. Corp Mytho Hammer is for fanatics. Kurokumo Clan Wakashu is more slash damage. We all do pierce damage. Lobotomy Kodia is for low sanity individuals. Ring Fauvis Docent's a bit of a meme, her support. I'm gonna take base Rhodia for that extra damage that we know and love. So we're looking at a 50% damage increase already. For Sinclair, we are bleed and we are haste. We do have the Sync Association self-director, but I do believe it's on a resonance. It's more haste on an evade, which is pretty nice, I suppose. We don't really need that much evade on our guy, much haste on our guy, because there's a cap. I think the cap was something, yeah, 6 speed and true haste. Yeah, we don't need that much haste, so we're mostly looking at our bleed here. Well, you know what it is. Get on the costume, Sinclair. Shake those maracas, boy. I don't see anything else that can support or hook up this fixer here, so it is the maracas. For Otis has the Haitial Pack branch, which provides us with additional damage, but only on a Gluttony Resonance and with the enemy that rupture. Unfortunately, we do not have Gluttony, so we cannot make use of that fun passive. We have the Sync Association South Section 4, which I do believe it's in a resonance. If the fastest ally speed is faster than the speed of all enemies, the fastest ally gains clash power +1. If the said ally is for the sync, he deals more pierce damage. We could take this 3 Pride Resonance for more clash power, but I feel like we have better options here. Like, as always, J-Corp Head Manager gives us the random buffs, which is always nice. Blade Linear Salsu provides us kill confirmation, basically. Less LCB Sinner Base Sinner gives us a 30% damage on enemies below 0 SP. So we could take something like we do have Pride, so if we find Lowest Star along the way, or Midwinter Nightmare, that is a very powerful damage boost. But this one is a the same amount of damage boost, but conditional is only an enemy low HP, so it's a kill confirmation kind of. That's why it's called double tap. And this one only triggers if the enemy have less than 0 SP. And it's for a sin we do not generate naturally. I'm going for the kill confirmation, especially because if we do get a kill, we gain power up next turn. It's a shame that it's only a single time per turn. For Gregor, I do believe he had something for Pierce, which was, well, I have the most poise. If he's an enemy, gain Pierce damage up next turn, once per turn. So that's another 10% damage, but we need poise for that, unfortunately. I'm liable to take G-Corp Manager Corporal for the healing, even though we don't generate gluttony passively to get that. See if there's any other options. Otherwise, I might just go Twin Hook Pirate's First Mate here for the extra damage. We'll find poise along the way. That's pretty much a guarantee. Night Owl's Captain is for defense level down, defense power down. Yeah, I'm thinking we're gonna take the Twin Hooks for extra damage instead of healing this time around. Because healing is good. It's difficult to choose, like, do you choose to heal or do you choose not to heal? Ooh. Didn't he had a healing on 2 times per turn, which would with this one on a resonant. 50% attribute damage attack 2 times per encounter. What do we choose here? More damage? I think we're gonna go for more damage, honestly. It might be a mistake, but a mistake I'm willing to do. Right. Let's review our boy team here, our boy Ben. Sanity healing, damage up on our Lust Resonance, damage up, haste on just generally haste, just gain haste. This one is for additional bleed. No, it's defense level down. Our fighter, more damage, more bleed, more damage, more damage, more damage on low health, and more damage on a kill. All right, that's our boy. Let's get down to it. So, as a reminder of the rules of our mirror dungeon here, we are going to attempt to explore the mirror dungeon solo with Hookup's Hong Lu. However, if we do face a wall that I cannot surmount, let's say, in 5 tries, with any strategy, even using, like, say, Dante's powers, I will call for backup of the Sinners. Unfortunately, this is not like a super duper ultra challenge run that I'm trying to do here. But I don't want to get stuck. I am on a clock here, after all. Let me just get some water. For every combat encounter that we defeat, we are going to read another page of the Metamorphosis. All right, we're going to be taking Starlight Guidance double this time because he has not the best clashing. So I'd rather not lose by clashing. And we need the protection as well. I am liable to try and go for bleed, but I want pierce, and we are going for pierce. And we are going to go with gathering skulls because that gives us more power on a kill. So we're really going for kills here. Other options that we have is this. It gives us a fragile, but since we're playing solo, we're going to need our Ashen Constellation, our phlebotomy pack, and our Echoes of the Manor, which, you know, has been very, very good for us. All right, let's begin then. So how's everyone's week been going? Today is a Tuesday, right? Oh, by the way, we reached 90 subscribers. I'm very happy. It means I have to hurry it up with my video. Ooh, Fate and Erosion. Fate and Erosion gives us the Blood Red Mane and the Phantom Pain. But it features Inquisitors. Ooh, these are very good gifts to start with. That's a massive damage up. We don't have Gloom, but 15% more damage on our attacks and defense power up or clash power. I don't want to die, so I'm gonna go for the Forgotten. All right, you got 2 choices here, buddy. Go here or go there. Ah, good. Very nice. Thank you. Thank you for the free gift. It's a very nice healing, and it's a very nice AoE damage bonus. All right, here we go. The first combat. Hopefully, the game will not be too rough with me. All right, just this guys. I think I can take him. They have good protection. We have the Ashen Constellation as well. And let's just roll. Remember, every time we get a kill with our anything, we gain attack power up, which is very nice. But for now, we need our priority is getting a Eagle resource generating Eagle gift, so that we can activate all of our passives, which as of now, we can't activate none of them, save for a few. But the first thing is, of course, to survive. I'm starting to think that I'm possibly your biggest fan. Ah, thank you. It's not like I'm super popular. I'm trying. And I'm very glad that you're here, Moises. It's very nice to have recurring characters here. We have Acidic Trauma, Kyleb on Twitch, and some others as well, but I'm very thankful for you all. Alright, we got a last resident, finally. Did he just, like, point pose as he did the attack? He did. Anyway, I am very thankful for this. You are always welcome here on the stream. Thank you. Ow, ow, stop. Right, we're getting slots now. We're only hitting 22 on the rampage because we have the true clash power up. I wish they expanded more on the lore of the prosthetic weapon like that. This is an interesting concept. You got our cyberpunk side of things here. Right, attack power up next turn. I love this image. Alright, I see the damage stacking up pretty damn nice. Look at all look at all those passives activated. That's very nice. I like stacking that damage bonuses like that. Because again, it's a reminder. No, it's the old Library of Ruin passive skill attribution still in play, because there's a lot of conditionals to activate passives in like Limbus. Hold on, let me just adjust the camera here. There we go. There's a lot of conditionals to activate the passives in Limbus, and some of them are like, hey, it's for the fastest guy or for the slowest guy, and that kind of sucks because you don't have much control of who's getting that because of, you know, RNG speed. But when you're playing solo, the slowest and the fastest guy is the same individual. The same goes for the one with the most health and the one with the lowest health, which is again very nice. Why does he remove his what's it called, mask when he dodges? Why are you doing that? Stop that, Honglu. It just looks on her support because she knows something. Yeah. It's just a face, like it's Don Quixote face just looking forward. It's just kind of funny because you know she's about to do something. Hello, old Peppy meme. Yes, it is a solo run, but again, you know how it is. If you do end up fighting something that completely counter us, we are going to call support from the other sinners. I'm not doing some crazy super powerful challenge where we have to use solo and everything. I've kind of given up on that, or else I will never get these streams done on time. And today I am a bit on the clock. I do have like 2 new students tomorrow earlier, and my friend returned from vacation, so I want to catch up with him as well. So yeah. I know you're not a new viewer. I'm calling you by the name that shows up in the OBS chat window here. Ooh, big damage bonus here. Wow. Kill him. 10% pierce, 10% pierce, 20% head score, 30% more damage, so a nice 70% damage bonus here, plus what we already have, so it's a nice 90% damage bonus, and the damage bonus based on his missing health, and the fact that he's staggered. I think he's dead. Ah, by 6.
빨리 해치우고 그냥 가죠.
놀만 죽는 것 같은 게 이제 싸게 치워불고 들어가자. 고생들이었다.
I wish there were more creative passives, however, because it feels like we repeat a lot of the same passives for like more damage, or they become so, you know, niche for very bad, not as good as effect. Like, oh, you do 5% more damage, but the enemy has to be like slower and faster or whatever.
이리로.
Where the older, simpler ones, where it just gives you 20% more damage on head coins, is already present and just mogs whatever the other IDs are offering. Good. Double loss. We don't have. This idea is very simple. We don't have to. In a Bloodfiend team, would you deploy Fang Hunt Office Honglu, Hook Office Fixer Honglu? Fang Hunt Office Fixer Honglu, he deals Rupture. A Bloodfiend team is about. Well, they do have some Rupture, but they're more about bleeds. So I would deploy Hook Office because he has pretty decent count, bleed count application. But Bloodfiend is Fang Hunt is Rupture Blunt, and they do extra damage against Bloodfiend. Also, it would be weird to have them around. I think the Sinners would be very uncomfortable. Unless I'm building some niche Rupture Bleed team, probably not. And again, if you're building a niche Bleed Rupture team, you do have better Rupture options for Honglu. And again, Blood Hunt, I don't think he applies bleed. I'm gonna check that. Hold on. Fang Hunt Honglu. Fang Hunt Honglu. Fang Fang Fong Fong Fu. He does not apply bleed at all, so there will be no real reason to put him in the Bloodfiend team. Unless I wanted to do something very weird.
싸울 생각도 없는 놈만 되는 거야.
Right, Honglu survived pretty well so far, but then again, the Forgotten has the easiest enemies on the game with the lowest like damaging attacks, and we are resistant to Pierce, which is half their attacks. Very nice. I know, sometimes I go for one of these solo runs and I think it's gonna be alright, because yeah, I think I know what I'm doing. And then I get blindsided with a fight that can't win, or it's the Butlers or Inquisition or whatever. Alright, Pendant on Nostalgia, I like that. And I do also like Eclipse of Scarlet Moths. Very nice. Let's upgrade the UPS system for that extra damage up. Let's sell this because we don't have Envy in our equipment, and upgrade the UPS system one more time to gain that sweet damage bonus, and update the Pendants of Nostalgia for free poise. Very nice, very good. On to the next battle. We completed exactly 3 combat nodes so far. We're going to complete the 4th now with the boss. That's 4 pages of the Metamorphosis, which is very nice. All right, here we go. Go for the range. 87% damage bonus. I like that. Honestly, if I ever did something for the Mirror Dungeon again, I wish they had support for solo play. Like you start a batch with every encounter becomes focused or something like that, or you start with extra slots so you don't completely get jumped by a crowd of people like we're about to get. Ow. No ego resource generating gift yet. Gotta look out. Gotta look out for that. Ow, ow. Stop hitting me. And give me my health back. The Battery Pack is being especially useful because we do have Wrath attacks, and it gives more healing when you hit with a wrap attack, so that's also pretty nice. Also, another thing I want to talk about, I did promise to try and make some streams in the afternoon during maybe Tuesday and Thursday. I'm still thinking about that because I got a lot of stuff to do in real life, like study and work-related stuff. And I am preparing a new overlay for my stream for when I play FPS games. It's gonna be pretty nice, but it's just something I'm doing for fun. Because I did say I want to finish I Divine Cybermancy on stream, and we didn't even finish the first cycle of guilt in the I Divine Cybermancy. And that is a very important game for me, as it was very foundational to who I am today. Limbus company players do be loving their ego gifts that can give damage up. That is indeed the case. Big damage means big victory, right? It's also partially to blame for how the clash system worked, because I like the clash system a lot. I was hooked on it ever since I played Library of Ruin, and it has completely spoiled me for any turn-based game, because I don't like the idea of just sitting there waiting for the enemy to attack me. I like to be active. This is the closest active you can get in a turn-based game with the clashing system, and I absolutely adore it. But because it is so reliant on big numbers, the game really leans, the system really leans in heavily onto what's it called, power dicing, getting the most power out of everything. We are she's a big bleed potency. There's bleed potency. We could get haste. We could get rupture. We could get one clarity level 2 though. Let's go with that one. We can get critical vitae somewhere else. All right, second one. We could go for Crab Hell because they're weak to Pierce, but I chose not to for obvious reasons. Wow, fuck. There's an ego gift here that I want. It's also here. Pray we don't get crabs. Pray we don't get crabs. Hello, Warp Corp's official account. How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. Oh, it's you. I'm gonna fight you. I can fight you. I have never seen this lineup. What lineup? You mean hook off his fixer and that's it? Everyone else is giving support for him. Ah, for the pack. Sometimes, you know, sometimes it happens. Dodge this fool. Very nice. Very nice. Fully dodged, perfectly dodged. Let's get another dodge rolling. I can't clash that, can I? It's a target fixed. Yeah, can't clash that. My friends gave me a monster energy. This is the first one I ever had. Do try to enjoy the taste of radioactive waste. I heard it's quite good. I once bought that for my nephew, and I don't know what happened to him after, honestly. Kind of worries me, gonna be honest. Alright, you are preoccupied devouring your slime. I will be devouring your slime. Yeah. I don't drink energy. I don't like energy drinks in general. I prefer my energy drink the old-fashioned way, a cup of black coffee. But I tried energy drinks on my what's it called? On drinks, on alcoholic drinks before. My friend made a horrible concoction with very low. A horrible concoction with a green energy drink and some other drink we had, and it was certainly interesting. It also made my shit green. Like literally, I didn't like that. Ooh, we're in trouble now. We're in trouble now, boy. Let's see, what can I do? I can technically kill this pathetic thing, and I can probably dodge the rest of the attack, but we still have to deal with this. We are going to have to use Superbia here. And Superbia. I do believe that Remain Oneself gives us sanity back on use. Can it clash? It's favored. Let's try for a different one. Oh, I mean the green shit? Yeah, no, that was foul. That was one of the foulest things I've seen in my life. I never drink that shit again. We got only the choice of Lasso, Remain Oneself. It's favored. I think we can make it. We kill this thing first, follow up by that. We are faster, so following the order of operations here, we should be good. Nope, of course not. Okay, that's still, we got some of our sanity back. There we go. There is Yi-Sang with that beautiful healing on hit. Love you, Yi-Sang. You are such a depressed little chud stuck in your dark room, but you grow massive glow up from you. You have become a cheerful boy that everyone loves now. Cancel my attacks too. All right, where's the pearl? Let's pierce that pearl. Stab away, Honglu. That bit, damn, that was nice. I still had to use Superbia here because we couldn't clash that thing otherwise. But, well, why not beat Ricardo and Honglu solo by accident? Used Tears of Tarnished Blood and he killed Honglu. I had that happen before, and once he cheated death like that because like he went and I already got your gift, but your ego gift is cute. You are a cute little creature. I hope we don't have to, this is one of the evidence I hope we don't have to fight. It seems like to be like a dying that is mostly beneficial and don't do anything bad. It would be really sad to have to fight that thing at some point. But yeah, no, once I used Tears of Tarnished Blood and he was about to die, but he managed to kill the enemies before he used the end of the skill, which was pretty funny in retrospect. All right, let's dodge and then pierce those gnomes. Again, a lot of solos only work because we have evades. Right, we get to dodge another one. Clash. That's the second one. That's the second one. What's the second one? That one. Evading, clashing, powering through. It's a very fun gift, Tears of Tarnished Blood. I really like it, especially if you go with Lord Lu, which can just say, nah, I'm not gonna die. No. I'm doing Endless Mirror Dungeon and stuck in King of Binds for 7. Bought King of Binds so little that I have no idea what he does. I just go for the Unga Bunga, I clash you, I win, you lose kind of strategy, you know? Which is, you know, 90% of the game. Unless you want to get into like the nitty gritty. Here's the thing, my friend said that, we visited here some time ago and said like, I think Limbus company combat system is overly complex. And I said, nah, not really. It has a lot of mechanics working together, but I wouldn't call it super complex. Most like understand where the clash power on the enemy is coming from and stuff like that, you know? For example, as much as I know how offense level works and resonance increase offense level and so many other little details, at the end of the day, the game does the calculation automatically for you. So I just need to understand that if I lower my enemy offense level, I am gaining clash power, and that's good for like an endless dungeon. No, not endless, extreme dungeon run. If the enemy has too much offense level, he's going to win the clash against me, and things like that, you know? Ooh, we're getting good damage today, boys. Right, next objective is survive. Anyway, Limbus company has a lot of intricate like mechanics working in tandem, which makes it seem more complicated than it really is. But at the end of the day, it's what to call. Oh boy, I may be fucked. No, we're resistant to. How is our? Oh, we're fatal to wrath. Fuck. How about sloth? Or normal to sloth? That is going to hurt.
아니에요?
Ah. Ooh, this is not good. This is terrible, actually. And I don't have another Superbia in the pocket to use. I haven't have Era. Let's see how it goes. We do have some damage reduction, so that's good. And a stagger recovery. Alright. We're going to eat one attack now. Let's see if we can recover it. I know, man, thinking lore-wise, I think we are glad that we fought Captain Ahab and Pequot Town when they were weakened by the whale, because holy shit, if these guys are like just a shadow of what they used to be, I don't want to think how Pequot Town, well, Pequot crew was, because holy shit. Very good, Honglu, very nice. I like how you slide it like doing the cha-cha between each of them. In any case, but reiterating what I said, Limbus has a lot of intricate mechanics working in tandem, but you only need to understand a few basic ones to get the game rolling. You can certainly delve further into the system, no problem. What did we fight? We fought the horrible creature for this, so 1, 2, 3 combat nodes complete. So that is a 7. I gotta keep track of that. So his hook off is Honglu bleed. Yes, he's bleed and haste. He's a bleeding hasty boy. Flash power. Give me a refresh. Your bandages, very nice. I'll take it. And let me try to enhance some gifts before we progress, like this one, which is very good. Actually, we only need to upgrade this once, otherwise we don't get any more bonuses from it. This one is going to give us more damage and clash power, so we're going to fully upgrade it. We really don't need Headless Portrait, but we're going to fuse it for Pierce. I am not going for exactly a super duper optimized Pierce build here, because I'm mostly doing it for the achievement, honestly. I see it. A lot of the physical ego gifts affect different units, so we can't use many of them very well, but they're still pretty good. They're still pretty good. Let's see, I have 17. Hoklu is pretty healthy right now. We could sell this, but there's nothing in the store to buy, so let's just leave. Okay, lots of... I'm using green spirits. No. I am using the gluttony. Green spirits is for tremor. Ring spits. Oh, speaking of green spirits, there he is, Jolly Fat Man. Ooh, we can't dodge this. We're gonna get hit. He's starting off with a hit you no matter what skill right away, huh? Keep dodging, boy. And that's an attack we can't dodge, okay. Right. Which one goes first? I'll say it is that one targeting our leftmost skill slot. So we can finally start clashing to get some bleed on this boy. Yeah, I'm dodging you. I'm not getting touched by the Fat Man. Speaking of Fat Man, there is a Fat Man character in my tabletop campaign that I need to give some love to, because he hasn't received any in a long time. I love how he moves, basically offering alcohol. Yep. Get drunk, boy. There is an event that I never got before, because they usually kill him extremely fast, where you can demand to have all of his drink. And when he says no, you just like keep looking at him like, I assume that you do puppy eyes, asking him, please give me all your drink. What? What the fuck? Why did it explode in blood? I didn't hit. Oh right, this clips of Scarlet Moths. I was like, what the fuck? Well, we're gonna have to kill him really quickly because otherwise he is going to clash for like 1 billion damage. We are not supposed to destroy that just yet. We're supposed to kill it this turn. He deals pretty damn good damage. Holy shit, that's some absurd damage on Hong Lu. The drink is gone. Because once he uses his evade skills, he's gonna use I'll have this as a skill. And if the target has morale boost, which we gain naturally, he gives it because we're drunk. He gains, hold on, 5 clash power and deals a lot of damage. So if you hit the drink when he has his evades, you become drunk, you become tipsy, and because you're tipsy, you take no damage, and he takes 50 HP damage. Unfortunately for him, we are faster, barely. Ooh, actually, we are barely faster than him. Yeah, he goes first. I'm screwed. Yeah, we'll tank that. We'll tank it. Yeah, I assume you could kill him before he does any of that, but he is a fast, fat guy. But we have Echoes of the Manor, so we recover for 1. Just hit the damage and kill him now. There we go. Well, nothing of the matter. And okay, as I was trying to say, again, Limbus, lots of system. You don't need to know a few basic ones like speed, redirecting on unfocused encounters, and you're good with the game. It's not that deep of a combat system. Right, we get Child Within a Flask, which is very important for us. We do have Pride, and that's gonna give us pretty good offense level, but this is a level 3 Keen Branch. It doesn't affect us. We'll get it over time. Go up to floor 3. We could go for Miracle in the district because that alone, that gives we are gonna go for Miracle because we have the damage type that is strong against him. 86 Lead of Doom, seal his fate indeed. Shit, I'll go for the mystery pack. Duck, rabbit, Thank you, he's saying you failed, but whatever. Unfocused encounter, that means you're gonna get clobbered for a little bit. Rabbit season. See, this is why I wanted to have money, because if I had money, I could commission to someone to do that. We do have to become 1 stealth. Let's use that one to start with an AoE and try to reduce their HP so we can maybe get a stagger, probably not, but still, we get a nice passive out of that. It didn't stagger them, but we get a nice little passive. Any other gnome? Alright, let's go. Tap, get a kill, and we get a power up next turn. Very nice. Look at those stacks. I love looking at that. Fence level, damage. Do tell your funny story, Warp Corp. Doink. Hold on. How much did we do damage for remain oneself? If this unit does not have thunder or higher thunder equipped, Eagle sources because of the skill, run it down. Very good. But there you want to take wait and do. Alright, they have to wait until our buff is about to go out. Got it. So you know the single rusty coin eagle gift? Yes, I know. It's my favorite for Lord Lu, and for a lot of people as well. It's a very good gift, except it can bite you in the ass sometimes with certain eagles, like say Magic Bullet for Altis. Boink. Ah, you have staggered me. 2 more Thunderers, got it. Let's begin the slaughter in the shish kebab, because we deal quadruple damage with our skill 1. This slaughter of gnomes. I'm surprised at how much damage Hong Lu is doing, man. This is kind of fantastic. Kind of like a Christmas miracle. I was fighting the ring lady and he was saying the mission shredder overclock since she has 1 on Tripter and does more damage than Riptrap. I forgot I had that eagle gift. Ah, and then he used it again.
흐릿한 등화 곱게 접은 종이에 번졌으니 식구의 한 용이 되어 빈불을 남았구나.
We have higher Thunderer now, which is very nice bonus. I don't know, we didn't even need the higher Thunderer. He just got the ominous black aura, which kind of goes with this character. It's very nice. He's saying failed because he wasn't feel optimistic enough to get a good achievement to protect the weird clockwork creature. True. Yeah, the Rusty Coin is a very good gift, but it does have a tendency of trolling you sometimes. Right, haven't been keeping track of our collected pages. My apologies. 9 pages. Ooh, free breed, free bird, free bleed. No one can do this, really? You have a pride skill. How? It only goes to 12. Low chance, low chance, low chance. All right, bad on Gregor. Nice job, Gregor. Nice job. Thank you for the free bleed. I was gonna count to the pirate to get some booty. This creature. Move on without resting. This one is kind of I could fight it to get true gifts, but Midwinter Nightmare alone is good. So, all right, let's take wrist guards. Oh yeah, we got my favorite damage up combo. Now we are on damage land. Very deadly. Let's take High Facility Shoes because I only want that purse gift. Voodoo Doll is very nice. Let's fuse some gifts now. Let's see if we can get the Pierce level 4 by mixing stuff together. The Great Coat. This is more damage for us. This, okay, I guess I'm gonna give up. Won't clear it. And we got it. Nice, very nice. And now we're doing some serious damage. Oh, this is going to be wonderful to watch. Hong Lu is doing surprising amount of damage because most of the characters that are giving support to him are boosting his damage, or pierce or normal damage. And now he's getting a shit ton of gifts that just boost that even further. Oh, it's an unfocused encounter. All right. Hello, Acidic Trauma. Welcome to the stream. And for a DPS unit, it has kind of okay HP count. Not bad at all. Lord Lu has less HP than him, but it's Lord Lu. Tasty. Tasty, tasty. Tasty, tasty, tasty. Basics of dueling. Oh, if you only got the boundary of depth skill, that would be very funny one day. Speaking of Wild, that stream is coming up. Don't worry. I gotta do the Heathcliff solo. Wild Hunt Heathcliff Extreme solo for the achievement. not gonna be a diversity 60 because there is no point in doing a diversity 60 for achievement. They just self-detonated, I see.
싸울
Very
준비는
nice.
끝났을까? 무엇을 그렇게 깝깝하게 쳐다만 보고 있고 그런다냐?
So let's consider they are weak to pierce. We are already doing like 100% more damage, 110% more damage just by buffs alone. They take double damage from pierce, so they're already taking triple damage plus all of this shit. Perish. Ooh, almost killed it. Missed the spot there.
빨리 해치우고 그냥 가죠.
Beautiful.
귀찮게 끌지 말지.
Ow. They're such cute little fellas. And he exploded. Goodbye.
빨리 해치우고 그냥 가죠.
Next wave of the gnome slaughter of 2026. That's his secret. He has like a fly flying his face all the time, so he's waving his arms and the prosthetic are just flashing all around him. Now that I look at it, those prosthetics kind of look like J-Corp's prosthetics. Maybe they took that as inspiration.
빨리 해치우고 그냥 가죠. 빨리 해치우고 그냥 가죠.
Yeah, it kind of looks like Gregor's prosthetics.
싸게 치워불고 들어가자.
I guess it worked during the war. It would be a very nice thing to have, like base yourself off. Going, let's keep going. Ooh, pom-pom hat, reverberation. We could take just the easiest ones here because none of these are good. Pom-pom is nice, but ooh, nocturnal sweeping. Hell no, we're dying if we go there. High self boys got maximum speed. Going here means we have to fight P-Quad, and P-Quad is dangerous. We are resistant to pierce, so we could, but it is a risk we're going to be taking just for this. Lithograph is nice, but I already have healing going on, so... Or we could test for luck. Let's see, refresh. And nothing. We just got devoured gluttony again. We lost the pack with the good stuff in it. Fearful Things has brazen bow. It also has the T-Corp guys, which I don't like. No, the sweepers. The problem with the sweepers is the final stage is a unfocused encounter, which we don't start with all our slots in, so you're gonna die if you go there, literally. Starting five rules in my lead team, all I see is Hong Lunars already bow, then Limbus crashes. Yeah, didn't you read the skill name? It's closing time. None of these are good. That's good if our gluttony then. Let's see the fat man again. All right, combat nodes, gotta update them. 10. Which one was this again? This was right. The midwinter nightmare. I forgot his name. With the fairy.
오늘은 얼마나 찢을까?
Honglu is blazing through this dungeon, man. What the hell? I know it's a Wahlberg's ID, but I didn't expect him to be this strong.
이리로 와.
딱 사냥하기 좋은 상태야. 그치?
Maybe I'm just getting lucky with gifts. Ah, missed the evade. That's a good one, our corp. Closing game arcs. Your software as my graphics gallery.
무엇이야? 대가리에 총 맞았냐? 왜 느자구 없이
이리로 와.
They have 100% damage up now.
아, 놀랐네. 담배 떠차서 손댈 뻔했잖아.
Weakness.
이만치 할 줄 알았으면 빨리 좀 하지 그랬냐?
It wasn't even using that skill. I got staggered after I proceeded to bow. The next thing I know, it's gone.
옛날에 외부 강사로 뛰던 것이
Keep it flowing. Which skill is gonna target us? Let's see. That one. Got it.
이리로 와.
Did I hear a little laugh? Did he do a little laugh?
빨리 해치우고 그냥 가죠.
No, that was a dog in front of the street.
그런 것이
I think Honolulu is doing a little laugh when he uses his skill.
딱 느낌이 오잖아. 에?
Once again, I know some people don't have other options but to play Limbus on mobile, but I really can't imagine playing Limbus on mobile, man. And then again, I am a computer chud, so...
일대를 다 쓸어버렸어.
이리로 와.
We did much damage up. We can probably go further down the dungeon if you wanted. We just don't have like survivability. Like we do have one stagger recover from Echoes of the Manor, but we don't have like a I don't want to die kind of skill, you know? Kind of skill, kind of ego.
한 놈만 잡아주다겠지.
I kind of have to because my laptop's fucked at the moment. The only reason I made it fine limits to have PC home use his PC here on my account. Ah. No, I understand if you don't have any other choice but to do the mobile, but I am a PC chud. I absolutely despise using my phone for everything. I only have it because I have to have it. Lots of things, especially government-related things here in Brazil, require you to have your phone linked to the government app and all that. And the only reason why I use it is because I have to use it. I have this cell phone ever since I was going to college for computer research and development. It's a college I dropped now in doing languages, which is far more suitable for me, I think. So I really can't wrap my hand around it. It's completely against my nature. And then again, I was raised with computers, so I computer chud to the max here. The only other game I played on mobile was Battle Cat, which I mentioned a few times here on stream, when I was going to commute to work, when I work at a hotel.
노른 것 같은 게 이제 싸게 치워불고 들어가자. 고생들이었다.
Alright, Round of Roses, free rupture, I like it. That's another combat node complete, so we are looking at 11 pages of the Metamorphosis here. What do we have here? Ooh! Alright, is he going to be the chosen one? There's a bizarre looking machine in front of it. It's a coin. Then there's a twinkling, glowing coin slot on the machine. It's almost enticing us to deposit the coin inside. A disembodied mechanical voice echoes from somewhere when we walk up to the machine. Test your luck! Where did that vocalization come from? Did it come from within the machine, or was it the space itself whispering to me? I barely catch myself after absent-mindedly picking up the coin and walking up to the machine's coin slot. I should think this through. Insert the coin. The slot sucks the coin inside with a clack. Then nothing. Oh darn it, it ate the coin! One of the sinners stump forward to beat up the machine, but it zooms up somewhere before we even get a chance to see what would happen. I imagine the machine just sprouting legs and running. Right, unfocused encounter, my beloved.
오늘은 얼마나 찢을까?
Ah, Inquisitors, not the bad kind this time. Good. We can reasonably deal with you guys.
딱 사냥하기 좋은 상태야. 이제
And your strangely phallic arms.
무셔. 대가리에 좀
Oh, you're gonna use a defense skill, are you? All right, have fun.
이리로.
Thank you. I'll take that defense skill.
귀찮게 끌지 말지.
아, 놀랐네.
Dogs? Why are you? Why are the dogs inside? I thought you put you outside.
그만 찰줄 알았어. 빨리 좀 하지 그랬구나.
I thought I put the dog outside. The dog isn't outside. This is one of the rare types of enemies where if you break one of their parts, you seize all attacks against that part.
외부 강사로 뛰던 것이 생각나네.
Go.
한 놈만 잡았어.
Stab the fucker. Stab the inquisitors. So many damage bonuses going for this boy. It's incredible. Oh, there's another one now. I remember these guys being annoying during the first railway, where they were literally just turn wasters. Can't use my drawing tablet because my laptop sucked up. I'm so sorry, acidic trauma. Was it still the virus thing, or was it something else this time around? Big damage, big game, big life. Right, this is probably like a rank 8 or 9 fixer. They are literally members of a syndicate. How are you doing so much damage, bro? Oh, and the guy has fragile on top of that. It's funny because there's no movement. Once he gets close to the enemy, he just stays there, just posing as the arms poke the guy. He doesn't knock them back with his attacks, because most attacks in Limbus knock the person you are attacking back after they're finished. He just stands there hitting them. There's no problem with the sprite I got in my laptop wearing everything down. It's been there for like a year now. I got most of it out. I think it works the malware. Depending on the problem, if it's not turning on, something I learned in college, and I did a computer maintenance for a while, is that there are 5 things you always should check if your computer does not boot. And by boot, I mean it does not give you video at all. First thing you're gonna check is your graphics card, if the computer even turns on. Oh boy, this is gonna be rough. What are you guys weak to? Slash. Oh, I do so happen to have a slash ego here, which is attack weight maximum. But it's giving the phone treatment. Yeah, you're just typing up numbers on them. Boop, 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 boop. So, computer. Have 5 things you should always check before your computer fails to boot. Power supply, is it even turning on? Like you press the button, does the fan spin and all that? If that's working, good. That's one last thing you have to check. Second thing you're gonna check is graphics card. Are you getting video? If you're not getting video, your graphics card might be fucked. Third thing, you have to check your RAM sticks. If you're getting video but nothing is showing up, your RAM sticks might be dirty, it might be, badly placed. If it's none of that, if you tried everything, you tried power supply, graphics card, RAM sticks, next up you're gonna check your processor. And if it isn't the processor, you take it out, clean it, put it back in, change the thermal paste. Very carefully do that, mind you. Then it's the motherboard. And if it is the motherboard, you are screwed. But again, what does it mean, G4? When I say your computer is not booting, I mean it is literally not giving anything on the video. You press the button and the screen remains black. Because operating system is an extra that we have. Your computer can boot without an operating system. You can technically make your computer work with no operating system. It's a piece of shit and most things won't work, but you can sort of make it work. Oh, it becomes a pierce damage ego when it's overclocked. I didn't pay attention to that. Oh well.
이리로.
이만치 말씀은 빨리 좀 하지 그래.
빨리 해치우고 그냥 가죠.
Anyway, those are the 5 things you check on your computer when he doesn't boot. Green, black, doesn't turn on, doesn't show like press Del to enter control panel or anything, doesn't even reach the Windows booting. Check power supply, check graphics card, check RAM sticks, check processor. If it isn't none of that, it's probably the motherboard. But always seek help if you try. Don't break anything. Be very careful when checking those things. And if you have the money, take it to someone that knows they're doing, and that you trust, of course. Much like a mechanic, people that work in computer maintenance will some way somehow try to get a little extra money out of you by saying it's one thing or the other. So you have to have someone that you can trust with this kind of stuff, you know? Look at that damage, man. Ooh, yeah. Honolulu has a string of very excellent IDs and eagles, doesn't he? I'm sensing some favoritism here. Goodbye. Feel the aura. Feel the aura. And it will turn on soon after this game will go black. I can still see my cursor though, and sometimes when I try to load Limbus thing. All right, so that's probably your Windows. Probably Windows screwing up. Yeah, that's Windows then. It's something to do with Windows. Probably the malware still acting up. All right, let's see what we can take here. We could take red order. No, give me a refresh, bartender. Skeletal crumbs. Anything I can enhance here that will make me even more powerful. Let's fuse for Pierce again. Hold on. We do have this that we can throw away. This that we can throw away. Midwinter could also go, but it wouldn't give us tier 4. Let's go for tier 2 Pierce. Rescue Corporals when we're getting on the meteor, yeah. That's kind of the way to deal with K-Corp employees lore-wise as well. You literally have to kill them instantly or don't give a chance to regenerate. Well of Truth, give me another refresh, bartender. Sunder Memory, nah, but this one is more damage, I like it. Oh yes! Deal 10% more damage against enemies with bleed, and if you have pride, deal 20% more damage. Bleed, counter target gain offense level next turn. Always nice. Bleed is always nice. Keyword refresh, Pierce. We got anything? No. We did have 4-leaf clover. Anything I can enhance with a little bit of money I have left? No. The worst virus I got on my phone was adware, and what it did was show me ad video lines, so it's extremely annoying. Yeah, I my neighbor here, I once had to, he had his grandmother over, and hey, I know you mess with computers, can you look at this? And my god, it was like fighting a QTE. Every time I tried to access the control panel of the, hey, it's the Batman again. Every time I tried to access the control panel of the phone, it was a QTE because the ad would not stop coming. I literally had to parry ads as I'm trying to uninstall all of the shitty betting apps that she had. As she said, they just kept installing, because one will install and then will show an ad for another one, and that one will be installed, and it would just, you know, keep going, keep installing more garbage in her phone. It was kind of genuinely amazing that I had to parry ads that was uninstalling them, because I feel like the virus was fighting back against me. I felt like the virus was fighting back against me, and that was interesting. Alright, fairy gentlemen, you know what it is. Problem is the thing is gonna blow up again, so let me just check if I'm doing the correct order here. Yes, it is.
자, 봐라.
Right.
아까부터 두드려
We broke his arm. We could probably break his will to live as well. Maybe we can break the body. I'm not sure. He had a pretty strong dodge. Yeah, I'm not gonna try to beat that dodge. The ad was just women's dress for 10% off Shopee, and it was just 2 image and nothing else. They really do be taking anyone to work on this kind of stuff, don't they? Alright. We are faster than him this time, so there's a good chance we can kill him before he can pull off his attacks. And even if he does pull off his attacks, we can tank it. So kill him. I believe you can do more than 1,000 damage in a single turn. Yeah, you can do it. You can do it just fine. Keep poking his belly. Just poke the belly. Pop him like a balloon. He's already big and round. And we're getting a lot of fat people in this stream today, huh? I guess we're gonna fight Santa next. Let's see. Max HP, base power, offense level. I didn't update the combat nodes. I'm gonna assume we did 2 more. Max HP and offense level. Alright. Sunk Gloom, which has Urking. Nocturnal Sweeping, which I don't want to do. Or let's go for Sunk Gloom. There's a fish, and there's Gloopo. All right, let's see. Yeah, let's go for the middle path because it is a. Yeah, we're fighting Santa again. We fight Santa all the time, and if you took Santa to fight, if I did a pack search for Santa, that fight will be over almost instantly because he's weak to Pierce and Wrath, and we do have Wrath Pierce skill. It's our skill 1 after all. But we're gonna go for Sunk Gloom instead. There's enough dead fat guys. We already killed 2 of them. We just waited off the virus when they just disappeared forever. Your phone security probably caught it. I don't trust like that, like the virus just disappeared. I would double check, but if you say it disappeared, it disappeared then. Keep dodging, boy. By the way, the next stream is going to be Lobotomy Eagle from the other Wahlberg match. Because again, I'm doing these by order of ID release, and I realized I never touched Hook Hong Lu, and I kind of regret it because on the dungeon at least he's getting some damage out. More than decent, kind of amazing level of damage. Not the biggest coin rolls in the game, but certainly big damage. It's been years since it disappeared forever, so I'm very certain to disappear forever now. Well, you never know.
보자, 싸울 준비는 끝났을까? 무엇을 그렇게 깝깝하게 쳐다만 보고 있고 그런다냐? 저런 놈들은 세 번 봤어요.
There you go. Death. And oh yeah, we have a special contract now, so any stagger is possibly lethal.
아, 놀랐네.
귀찮게 끌지 말지.
Load that guy, turning into a real life Picasso. Ah damn it! I used a wrap skill for the last skill.
귀찮게 끌지 말지.
Another thing that is very interesting about playing solo in this game is because Sing Resonance is a thing. If you get a large enough, since there's only one character, all of his attacks are going to be of similar sims, so you can get a really long absolute resonance, and the further down the line the stronger his flashes become, and it's only focused on the same character, so all the buffs are being applied to one character, and so are the buffs from the absolute resonance. he turns solo characters into an absolute beast once enough time has passed, assuming you can survive that long. As you can see, we clearly can because we have a staggered cancellation with Echoes of the Manor, but still, it's very nice. Echoes of the Manor is kind of, I wouldn't say it's mandatory, but it's very good. And we got Carmilla, nice. Carmilla and the doll makes for one of the best combos for unfocused encounters. It's this guy. You don't have a fight yet, do you? Huh. Anyway, I'll pick that up now. Thank you, Gregor. Can always contribute to get some booty for us. Nice. I like Carmilla and the Voodoo Doll for unfocused encounters because it instantly staggers most enemies if the Carmilla is fully upgraded, and if they take just a bit of damage, then they have -2 power on the next turn. Carmilla was upgraded here, they would be dead. Let's see. Back way to choose. Let's go for to remain oneself. I could have gone for a corrosion there for more AoE.
흐릿한 등화, 곱게 접은 종이에 번졌으니 식구의 한 용이 되어 빈 별을.
No stagger in sight. We're very close.
이번에는 재미 좀 보는가? 자들도 생각이 있으니 이리로 허접한 것들을 다 내진 않았겠지.
Bop. Stagger. Ah, this is bad. We lost the eagle, by the way. Ooh, that might be death for him. Ooh, that is close to death. That is very close to death. This time I'm missing what they called. What is that? I forgot the name of the skill now. That guy's gonna attack us first, isn't he? And because by default we use the attack the slowest. It's a coin flip of who's gonna go first, isn't it? No, it's not. That guy is going to attack first. Screw you, buddy. Let's see. Yep, and that's close to death. Go away, bot. That was... Rupture is always dangerous.
빨리 해치우고 그냥 가죠.
이제 그것은 그 짝에 갖다 써야지. 별로 어려울 것도 없잖아.
숨결 하나에 푸르른 창문 공격이 하나된 찬양이 만종을 울릴지어다.
That's a good obliteration. We do need to recover our health. Bad. And these guys are somehow faster than I am.
욕심이 나긴 나거든.
귀찮게 끌지 말지.
Oh, yeah, hello, Bruiser Cruiser. I do believe this is your first time here. Hello. And yes, he did lock in last second there. 1 HP survival. Let's see if he can survive these next hits, though. Ooh, come on. Oh, alive. He lived. The beast. The warrior. It's gonna be a problem in the next fight, but... Nice healing there.
귀찮게 끌지 말지.
Given the phone number special.
해치우고 그냥 가죠. 빨리 해치우고 그냥 가죠.
놀만치 노른 것 같은 게 싸게 치어불고 들어가자. 고생들이었다.
Got a little cocky there, huh? Got a little carried away, you could say. Faint vestige. We still have no fight left to go. Good. Whew. We can get to the store and heal. Alright, what's here? This guy. We're all guided personally. I think we have people who can do that. Honglu, go to show the nice young man where to go.
쉽네. 먼저 갈게요.
Teddy bear. You're not special. Give me your gift. Ooh, we made it to the shop. Let's... Honglur deserves the healing. It deserves a little can of Welchers. You, the sinner again? There we go. Oh, you're always welcome. I stream every day at the same time, so feel free to drop in whenever. Soon we'll be making videos to publish here on the channel, so there is also that. Let's try doing some gifts for Pierce. 1, 2, 3. And this. Not enough? Alright. Do believe we need more tier 1 gift. Put this one in there and... One in there. Right, give me the Pierce gift. There we go. Punctuated memory. That is a very nice base power, coin power, and Clash Win damage bonus. I like that. I like that very much. Let's see what else. Pretty much all of these. Some of these we can't use. I don't think I'm gonna get the achievement for getting the Pierce gift, but that's for another time, another day. Let's enhance some stuff. Dolly is a good upgrade. It's power down. I like power down. This one is also a good charge barrier. There we go. Let's beat the boss and begin our book reading. Right, that will be 16 nodes today. It did a lot of combat, didn't we? Didn't feel like it because he bulldozed through them with all those damage bonus. I think we got really lucky with the enemies being weak to Pierce. Holy shit, you're massive! What the fuck? Alright. Hello, Clap. The best goalkeeper we could ever wish for. Oh, we can almost beat her quickness. Oh no! Okay, he can beat our quickness if you're not careful. Oh baby. Oh boy. Alright, Clap, pressing sack, Clap, no tail whisk, no tail whisk. Oh, there was a tail whip, I just ignored it. Whew. Oh, I remember when Clap used to be, people used to cry about Clap, man. People used to complain so much about this fish, and it's such an easy fight, honestly. What's a master rope for that one? Because that's true blood cannon. Then I don't want to get blood cannon in. Here. Clash the blood cannons. We clash good because we have good gift on us. That's a stagger with a special contract. Death comes for the EU, damn fish. All right. Jesus, that's so many of them. Would be good. Tab tab. Oh, I guess I messed up the order. Oh, we probably staggered him. No, I just messed up the order of operations here. Oh well. Its abdomen has filled with a red liquid. It looks like it might expel it at any moment. A bubbling splash of blood can be seen around its severed neck. Who could jam his throat shut? Not Honglu. Honglu quickly ran over and cut its neck. However, shortening our red sliced throat wasn't going to weaken the bloodstream. A mistake, one sinner commented, but what is done is done. There was only one chance, and it has been squandered. Headless Ichthys used the skill Clotting. Ooh, I have never seen that skill before. Clotting. Inflicts 30 bleed! Oh my god! Unfortunately, it's neutral. Ooh, clash of a lifetime here. We do have true power down. That is bad. That is real bad. How about we even the odds a little bit? Still neutral. I don't think any of our egos can dominate Clash that. So we are going to leave that clash to be the last one of our skills here. We're going to focus on clashing against everything else. It's part of his body. Yeah. 30 bleed, wow. That used to be like dangerous back in the day. Oh, the part broke because of bleed? What? Alright. I didn't clock. I never seen this. Ooh, that's nasty. Ooh, I don't like that. Ooh, I usually kill it before you can use that skill. I never seen that skill being used. I never seen the animation for it. This is a first for me. You can tell I never had problems with headless Ichthys because I sort of know how to play this game. Executed with no problems. And we got a big old fish egg here to make salmon roe after or something. I don't know why headless Ichthys changes sizes all the time, but he just does that. Alrighto, that is it, my friend. Mirror dungeon complete. Brute solo with Hokoff Fixer Honglu. Like I said before, we only go up to floor 5 because this is a daily stream. I don't really have a lot of time to go all the way to floor 15 or 10 on these strings. We do have some time reserved for reading after all. And he did it under 2 hours, which is amazing. I was expecting a lot more suffering from using a double OID in the Mirror Dungeon solo, but he is amazingly strong. Or maybe we just got lucky with our enemies. We did get to be pierced, the second one. So just stop whipping the fuck out, give you a second. We did get to be pierced, Santa, the Vargluttony of Sangloom, which featured lots of enemies that were weak to pierce. And we have several IDs that support pierce a lot. So I think this is the return of Library of Ruin of pierce damage. So that's pretty damn fucking nice. All right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you are here today for the gameplay has ended. For now, we are going to get ourselves nice and comfortable, sit back and read the Metamorphosis by Franz Kafka. If you like the stream, please recommend it to your friends, and if you didn't, please recommend it to your enemies. Sit tight, grab something to drink, a snack maybe, and let's read the book together. I am going to put Gregor here on the screen. Goodbye, team. And I'm gonna get the book ready for our perusal. Just a moment. And we have today 16 pages to read. So, book reading Indo and bop. There we go. Let's try it to 9.5 zoom. That should be good. All right, see you around, Acidic Trauma. We are going to start our dramatic reading of the book. We are at page 25, and since we have 16 pages to go, we are stopping at page 41 of the 7-7 book. So, last time on Gregor's Bizarre Adventure, he turned into a bug. The first thing he thought was about going to work, and that infuriates me to no end, but that's beside the point. He tried to get out of bed, failed. His manager came to check up why he has skipped work, because apparently he works in such a place that if you get late for a few hours, the manager shows up. He managed to get out of the room. The manager saw him transformed and left, and he attempted to go after the manager to explain the situation a little better, but his father started beating him with a cane and a newspaper, so he'd go back in his room, and we stopped at that particular moment. So let me just get a bit more water in me, and let's go. If only there hadn't been his father unbearable hissing. Because of that, Gregor totally lost his head. He was already totally turned around when, always with this hissing in his ear, he just made a mistake and turned himself back a little. But when he finally was successful in getting his head in front of the door opening, it became clear that his body was too wide to go through any further. Naturally, his father, in his present mental state, had no idea of opening the other wing of the door a bit to create a suitable passage for Gregor to get through. His single fixed thought was that Gregor must get into his room as quickly as possible. He would never have allowed the elaborate preparations that Gregor required to orient himself, and thus perhaps get through the door. On the contrary, as if there were no obstacles and with a peculiar noise, he now drew Gregor forwards. Behind Gregor, the sound was at this point no longer like the voice of only a single father. Now it was really no longer a joke, and Gregor forced himself, come what might, into the door. One side of his body was lifted up. He lay at an angle in the door opening. His one flank was sore with the scraping. On the white door, ugly blotches were left. Soon, he was stuck fast and would have not been able to move anymore on his own. The tiny legs on the side hung twitching in the air above. The ones on the other side were pushed painfully into the floor. Then his father gave him one really strong, liberating push from behind, and he scurried, bleeding severely far into the interior of his room. The door was slammed shut with a cane, and finally it was quiet. Part 2. Gregor first woke up from his heavy, swoon-like sleep in the evening twilight. He would certainly have woken up soon afterwards without any disturbance, for he felt himself sufficiently rested and wide awake. Although it appeared to him as if a hurried step and a cautious closing of the door to the hall had aroused him. The shine of the electric streetlights lay pale here and there on the ceiling and on the higher parts of the furniture, but underneath around Gregor it was dark. He pushed himself slowly toward the door, still groping awkwardly with his feelers, which he now learned to value for the first time. Check what was happening there. His left side seemed on single long unpleasantly stretched scar, and he really had to hobble on his 2 rows of legs. In addition, one small leg had been seriously wounded in the course of the morning incident. It was almost a miracle that only one had been hurt, and dragged lifelessly behind. By the door, he first noticed what had really lured him in there. It was the smell of something to eat, for there stood a bowl filled with sweetened milk, in which swam tiny pieces of white bread. He almost laughed with joy, for he now had a much greater hunger than in the morning, and he immediately dipped his head almost up to and over his eyes down into the milk. But he soon drew it back again in disappointment. Not just because it was difficult for him to eat on account of his delicate left side, he could eat only if his entire panting body worked in a coordinated way, but also because the milk, which was otherwise his favorite drink, and which his sister had certainly placed there for that reason, did not appeal to him at all. He turned away from the bowl almost with aversion and crept back into the middle of the room. In the living room, as Gregor saw through the crack in the door, the gas was lit. But where, on other occasions at this time of day, the father was accustomed to read the afternoon newspaper in a loud voice to his mother and sometimes also to his sister, at the moment not a sound was audible. Now perhaps this reading out loud, about which his sister always spoken and written to him, had recently fallen out of their general routine, but it was so still all around, in spite of that fact that the apartment was certainly not empty. What a quiet life the family leads, said Gregor to himself, and he stared fixedly out in the front of him into the darkness. He felt a great pride that he had been able to provide such a life in a beautiful apartment like this for his parents and his sister. But how would things go if now all the tranquility, all the prosperity, all the contentment should come to a horrible end? In order not to lose himself in such thoughts, Gregor preferred to set himself moving and crawled up and down in his room. Once during the long evening, one side of the door and then the other door was opened just a tiny crack and quickly closed again. Someone presumably needed to come in but had then thought better of it. Gregor immediately took up a position by the living room door, determined to bring in the hesitant visitor somehow or other, or at least to find out who it might be. But now the door was not opened anymore, and Gregor waited in vain. Earlier, when the door had been barred, they had all wanted to come in to him. Now, when he had opened one door, and when the others had obviously been opened during the day, no one came anymore, and the keys were stuck in the locks on the outside. The light in the living room was turned off only late at night, and now it was easy to establish that his parents and his sister had stayed awake all this time, for one could hear clearly as all 3 moved away on tiptoe. Now it was certain that no one would come in to Gregor anymore until the morning. Thus, he had a long time to think undisturbed about how he should reorganize his life from scratch. But the high, open room in which he was compelled to lie flat on the floor made him anxious. Without him being able to figure out the reason, for he had lived in the room for 5 years, with a half-unconscious turn and not without a slight shame, he scurried under the couch, where, In spite of the fact that his back was a little cramped and he could no longer lift up his head, he felt very comfortable and was sorry only that his body was too wide to fit completely under it. There he remained the entire night, which he spent partly in a state of semi-sleep, out of which his hunger constantly woke him with a start, but partly in a state of worry and murky hopes, which all led to the conclusion that for the time being, he would have to keep calm and with patience and the greatest consideration for his family tolerate the troubles which in his prison condition he was now forced to cause them. Around early in the morning, it was still almost night. Gregor had an opportunity to test the power of the decision he had just made, where his sister, almost fully dressed, opened the door from the hall into his room and looked eagerly inside. She did not find him immediately, but when she noticed him under the couch, God, he had to be somewhere or other for he could hardly fly away, she got such a shock that without being able to control herself, she slammed the door shut once again from the outside. However, as if she was sorry for her behavior, she immediately reopened the door again and walked in on her tiptoes, as if she was in the presence of a serious invalid or a total stranger. Gregor had pushed his head forward just to the edge of the couch and was observing her. Would she really notice that he left the milk standing, not indeed for any lack of hunger? Or would she bring in something else to eat more suitable for him? If she did not do it on her own, he would sooner starve to death than call her attention to the fact, although he had a really powerful urge to move beyond the couch, throw himself at his sister's feet and beg her for something or other good to eat. But his sister noticed right away with astonishment that the bowl was still full, with only a little milk spilled around it. She picked it up immediately, although not with her bare hands but with a rag, and took it out of the room. Gregor was extremely curious what she would bring as a substitute, and he pictured himself different ideas about that, but he could never have guessed that what his sister, out of the goodness of her heart, in fact did. She brought him, to test his taste, an entire selection, all spread out on an old newspaper. There were old half-rotten vegetables, bones from the evening meal, covered with a white sauce which had almost solidified, some raisins and almonds, cheese, which Gregor had declared inedible 2 days earlier, a slice of dry bread, a slice of salted bread, smeared with butter. In addition to all of this, she put down a bowl, probably designated once and for all as Gregor's, into which she had poured some water. And out of her delicacy of feeling, since she knew that Gregor would not eat in front of her, she went away very quickly and even turned the key in the lock, so that Gregor could now observe that he could make himself as comfortable as he wished. Gregor's small limbs buzzed as the time for eating had come. His wounds must, in any case, have already healed completely. He felt no handicap on that score. He was astonished at that and thought about it. How more than a month ago he had cut his finger slightly with a knife, and how this wound had hurt enough even the day before yesterday. Am I now going to be less sensitive? He thought, already sucking greedily on the cheese, which had strongly attracted him right away, more than all of the other foods. Quickly, and with his eyes watering with satisfaction, he ate one after the other, the cheese, the vegetables, and the sauce. The fresh food, by contrast, didn't taste good unto him. He couldn't bear the smell when he even carried the things he wanted to eat a little distance away. By the time his sister slowly turned the key as a sign that he should withdraw, he was long finished and now lay lazily in the same spot. The noise immediately startled him, in spite of the fact that he was already almost asleep, and he scurried back again under the couch. But it cost him great self-control to remain under the couch, even for the short time his sister was in the room, because his body had filled out somewhat on account of the rich meal, and in the narrow space there he could scarcely breathe. In the midst of minor attacks of asphyxiation, he looked up at her with somewhat protruding eyes, as his unsuspecting sister swept up with a broom, not just the remnants, but even the foods which Gregor had not touched at all, as if those were now useless. And as she dumped everything quickly into the bucket, which she closed with a wooden lid, and then carried all of it out of the room, she had hardly turned around before Gregor had already dragged himself out from the couch, stretched out, and let his body expand. In this way, Gregor got his food every day, once in the morning when his parents and the servant girl were still asleep, and a second time after the common noon meal, for his parents were, as before, asleep, then for a little while, and the servant girl was sent off by his sister on some errand or other. Certainly, they would not have wanted Gregor to starve to death, but perhaps they could not have endured finding out what he ate other than by hearsay. Perhaps his sister wanted to spare them what was possibly only a small grief, for they were really suffering quite enough already. What sort of excuses people had used on that first morning to get the doctor and the locksmith out of their house, Gregor was completely unable to ascertain. Since he was not comprehensible, no one, not even his sister, thought that he might be able to understand others, and thus, when his sister was in her room, he had to be content with listening now and then to her sighs and invocations to the saint. Only later, when she had grown somewhat accustomed to everything, naturally there could never be any talk of her growing completely accustomed to it, Gregor sometimes caught a comment which was intended to be friendly or could be interpreted as such. "Well, today tasted good to him," she said, if Gregor had really cleaned up what he had to eat. Whereas in the reverse situation, which gradually repeated itself more and more frequently, she used to say sadly, "Now everything has stopped again." But while Gregor could get no new information directly, he did hear a good idea from the room next door, and as soon as he heard voices, he scurried right away to the relevant door and pressed his entire body against it. In the early days especially, there was no conversation which was not concerned with him in some way or the other, even if only in secret. For 2 days at all meal times, discussions on that subject could be heard on how people should now behave. But they also talked about the same subject in the time between meals, for there were always at least 2 family members at home, since no one really wanted to remain in the house alone, and people could not, under any circumstances, leave the apartment completely empty. In addition, on the very first day, the servant girl, it was not completely clear what and how much she knew about what had happened, on her knees had begged his mother to let her go immediately. And when she said goodbye about 15 minutes later, she thanked them for the dismissal with tears in her eyes, as if she was receiving the greatest favor which people had shown her there. And, without anyone demanding it from her, she swore a fearful oath not to betray anyone, not even the slightest bit. Now, his sister had to team up with his mother to do the cooking, although that didn't create much trouble because people were eating almost nothing. Again and again, Gregor listened as one of them vainly invited another one to eat and received no answer other than "thank you, I have enough," or something like that. And perhaps they had stopped having anything to drink too. His sister often asked his father whether he wanted to have a beer and gladly offered to fetch it herself. And when his father was silent, she said in order to remove any reservations he might have, that she could send the caretaker's wife to get it. But then his father finally said a resounding no, and nothing more would be spoken about it. Already during the first day, his father laid out all the financial circumstances and prospects to his mother and to his sister as well. From time to time, he stood up from the table and pulled out the small lockbox salvaged from his business, which had collapsed 5 years previously, some document or other or some notebook. The sound was audible as he opened up the complicated lock and, after removing what he was looking for, locked it up again. These explanations by his father were, in part, the first enjoyable thing that Gregor had the chance to listen to since his imprisonment. He had thought that nothing at all was left over from his father from that business. At least his father had told him nothing to contradict that view, and Gregor, in any case, hadn't asked him about it. At the time, Gregor's only concern had been to devote everything he had in order to allow his family to forget as quickly as possible the business misfortune which had brought them all into a state of complete hopelessness. And so, at that point, he'd started to work with a special intensity, and from an assistant had become, almost overnight, a traveling salesman, who naturally had entirely different possibilities for earning money and whose successes at work at once were converted into the form of cash commissions, which could be set out the table at home in front of his astonished and delighted family. Those had been beautiful days, and they had never come back afterwards, at least not with the same splendor. In spite of the fact that Gregor later earned so much money that he was in a position to bear the expenses of the entire family, expenses which he, in fact, did bear, they had become quite accustomed to it, both the family and Gregor as well. They took the money with thanks, and he happily surrendered it. But the special warmth was no longer present. Only the sister had remained still close to Gregor, and it was his secret plan to send her, in contrast to Gregor, she loved music very much and knew how to play the violin charmingly, next year to the conservatory, regardless of the great expense which that must necessitate and which would be made up in other ways. Now and then, during Gregor's short stays in the city, the conservatory was mentioned in conversations with his sister, but always only as a beautiful dream, whose realization was unimaginable, and their parents never listened to these innocent expectations with pleasure. But Gregor thought about them with scrupulous consideration and intended to explain the matter ceremoniously on Christmas Eve. In his present situation, such futile ideas went through his head, while he pushed himself right up against the door and listened. Sometimes in his general exhaustion, he couldn't listen anymore and let his head bang listlessly against the door. But he immediately pulled himself together, for even the small sound which he made by this motion was heard nearby and silenced everyone. "There he goes again," said his father after a while, clearly turning towards the door. And only then would the interrupted conversation gradually be resumed again. Gregor found out clearly enough, for his father tended to repeat himself often in his explanations, partly because he had not personally concerned himself with these matters for a long time now, and partly also because his mother did not understand everything right away the first time, that, in spite all bad luck, a fortune, although a very small one, was available from the old time, which the interest, which had not been touched, had in the intervening time gradually allowed to increase a little. Furthermore, in addition to this, the money which Gregor had brought home every month, he had kept only a few florins for himself, had not been completely spent and had grown to a small capital amount. Gregor, behind his door, nodded eagerly, rejoicing over this unanticipated foresight and frugality. True, with this excess money he could have paid off more of his father's debt to his employer, and the day on which he could be rid of this position would have been a lot closer, but now things were doubtless better the way his father had arranged them. At the moment, however, this money was nowhere near sufficient to permit the family to live on the interest payments. Perhaps it would be enough to maintain the family for 1 or at most 2 years, that's all. Thus, it came only to an amount which one should not really take out and which must be set aside for an emergency. But the money to live on must be earned. Now his father was a healthy man, although he was old, who had not worked at all for 5 years now, and thus could not be counted on for very much. He had, in these 5 years, the first holidays of his trouble-filled but unsuccessful life, put on a good deal of fat and thus had become really heavy. And should his old mother now maybe work for money, a woman who suffered from asthma, for whom wandering through the apartment even now was a great strain and who spent every second day on the sofa by the open window laboring for breath, should his sister earn money, a girl who was still a 70-year-old child, whose early lifestyle had been so very delightful that it had consisted of dressing herself nicely, sleeping late, helping around the house, taking part in a few modest enjoyments, and above all playing the violin? When it came to talking about this need to earn money, at first Gregor went away from the door and threw himself on the cool leather sofa beside the door, where he was quite hot from shame and sorrow. Often he lay there all night long. He didn't sleep a moment and just scratched on the leather for hours at a time. He undertook the very difficult task of shoving a chair over the window. Then he crept up on the windowsill and braced in the chair, leaned against the window to look out, obviously with some memory or other of the satisfaction which that used to bring him in the earlier times. Actually, from day to day he perceived things with less and less clarity, even those a short distance away. The hospital across the street, the all too frequent sight of which he had previously cursed, was not visible at all anymore. And if he had not been precisely aware that he lived in the quiet but completely urban Charlotte Street, he could have believed that from his window he was peering out at a featureless wasteland, in which the gray heaven and the gray earth had merged and were indistinguishable. His attentive sister must have observed a couple of times that the chair stood by the window. Then, after cleaning up the room, each time she pushed the chair back right up against the window, and from now on she even left this inner casement open. If Gregor had only been able to speak to his sister and thank her for everything that she had done for him, he would have tolerated her service more easily. As it was, he suffered under it. The sister admittedly sought to cover up the awkwardness of everything as much as possible, and as time went by, she naturally got more successful with it. But with the passing of time, Gregor also came to understand everything more precisely. Even her entrance was terrible for him. As soon as she entered, she ran straight to the window without taking the time to shut the door, in spite of the fact that she was otherwise very considerate in sparing anyone the sight of Gregor's room, and yanked the window open with eager hands, as if she was almost suffocating, and remained for a while by the window breathing deeply. Even when it was still so cold, even when it's still so cold. With this running and noise, she frightened Gregor twice every day. The entire time, he trembled under the couch. Yet he knew very well that she would certainly have spared him gladly if it had only been possible to remain with the window closed in a room where Gregor lived. On one occasion, about 1 month had already gone by since Gregor's transformation, and there was now no particular reason anymore for his sister to be startled at Gregor's appearance, she came a little earlier than usual and came upon Gregor as he was still looking out the window, immobile and well positioned to frighten someone. It would not have come as a surprise to Gregor if she had not come in, since his position was preventing her from opening the window immediately, but she not only did not step inside, she even retreated and shut the door. A stranger really could have concluded from this that Gregor had been lying in wait for her and wanted to bite her. Of course, Gregor immediately concealed himself under the couch, but he had to wait until the noon meal before his sister returned, and she seemed much less calm than usual. From this, he realized that his appearance was still constantly intolerable to her and must remain intolerable in the future, and that she really had to exert a lot of self-control not to run away from the glimpse of only the small part of his body which stuck out from under the couch. In order to spare her even the sight, one day he dragged the sheet on his back onto the couch. This task took him 4 hours and arranged it in such a way that he was now completely concealed. And his sister, even if she bent down, could not see him. If this sheet was not necessary as far as she was concerned, then she could remove it, for it was clear enough that Gregor could not derive any pleasure from isolating himself away so completely. But she left the sheet just as it was, and Gregor believed he even caught a look of gratitude when on one occasion he carefully lifted up the sheet a little with his head to check as his sister took stock of the new arrangement. In the first 2 weeks, his parents could not bring themselves to visit him, and he often heard how they fully acknowledged his sister's present work, whereas earlier they had often got annoyed at his sister because she had seemed to them as somewhat useless young woman. However, now both his father and his mother often waited in front of Gregor's door while his sister cleaned up inside, and as soon as she came out, she had to explain in detail how things looked in the room, what Gregor had eaten, how he had behaved this time, and whether perhaps a slight improvement was perceptible. In any event, his mother comparatively soon wanted to visit Gregor, but his father and his sister restrained her, first with reasons which Gregor listened to very attentively, and which he completely endorsed. Later, however, they had to hold her back forcefully, and when she then cried, let me go to Gregor, he's my unlucky son, don't you understand that I have to go to him?" Gregor then thought that perhaps it would be a good thing if his mother came in, not every day of course, but maybe once a week. She understood everything much better than his sister, who, in spite of all her courage, was still a child and, in the last analysis, had perhaps undertaken such a difficult task only out of childish recklessness. And stop. We are ceasing our reading here. It is page 41, as promised. I think that is the correct number of pages. Now I don't remember. Yeah, it is the correct number of pages. All right. So this is it. Ah, man, this book makes me angry. Poor Gregor. Look at him. He doesn't deserve all this. In any case, with our Mirror Dungeon complete and with our book reading complete, I would like to thank you all that stuck around for today. And that's it for today. So if you liked the stream, please recommend it to your friends. If you didn't, please recommend it to your enemies. And if you really like it and wish to give some support here to the channel, please leave a like, a comment, subscribe, follow on Twitch, follow on Twitter, which I post things sometimes. And once I'm done with the Metamorphosis, I'm going to put up a public poll somewhere to ask if you guys want me to continue with the book reading or not. In any case, with all that said, thank you once again, sweet kisses, and goodbye.